Now, speaking of this government, then you were also quite a supporter of the change in government, and you yourself said that you were. I think the word you used was euphoric with the change and all. Now looking back, based on the current government, and do you think we made the right choice?
I think we, it's that there's a sketch which I do, which stars one of my characters called Puan Badaria, and Puan Badaria is a civil servant, right? And in one
she spoke on a TEDx as well.
Yes, that's right. In one of the sketches, and she works in the Department of Lost and Found, and her job is to lose things. Right? Yes. And so this taxi driver comes to see her because he's lost his passenger, right? And so she agrees to help him find his passenger. And she tells him, your passenger's not lost, your passenger's left Malaysia. He doesn't want to be found anymore because other countries are better. So your passenger left to do business in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Indonesia, because in Malaysia, he can't do business. So you don't worry, you didn't lose him. Because he's like, as a taxi driver, my job is to make sure I don't lose my passenger. How did I lose him? He said, no. He lost him. He got lost. Right?
He lost himself.
Right? Yeah. And at the end of the sketch, she says, "Well, I hope you're happy with my service. Can you please rate me on this button system?" So she gives him a little box, and there's 3 buttons on the box. And he says, "But all the buttons are the same. It's not like yes, no, very happy, not so happy." All 3 buttons are the same. He says, "I don't know which button to press. They're all the same. There's no choice." He said, "No, that's a Malaysian choice. It's the no choice choice." Yeah. So I think we kind of took the no choice. Yeah.
No choice.
Because because and it's because we were hopeful and we want change, and I don't regret that, because I think that it takes a long time for things to change. I think that I will be outspoken and say these things like this because I think I want to say to my government, be braver. I think you can afford to be braver. I think you can afford to kind of stand up for your principles more. I do believe that. And I think it's our role as citizens to say those things. Other people may think I'm wrong, which is fine. They can say, "Oh, well, you're wrong. I think this government's doing a very good job." Or others will say, "Well, they're under a lot of constraints." I know all this. But I can still say, I expect, I want more from you. Just like a parent, I'm very disappointed in you. And I expected more from you, young child. It's not to say that you hate your child. You don't. You love your child, but you always want your child to be better. And I think that's what we do criticism is just that. It's just like, that wasn't bad, but you could be better. And here are some ways, here are some pointers, right? And that's the role that we all play. In civil society, we all just have an opinion, and the government has to roll with the punches and not think, "Oh, they're criticizing us, they hate us." And sometimes people say to me, "Oh, so what's the alternative?" Then the past will come in, and I say, "Well, if that's what people want, it's not particularly what I want, but also it's not going to be extrapolated from this to that." And if that is a worry of yours, and you think that maybe the government will become a government which is will erode your rights even further, then all the more reason to have a more sensible and rational discourse, because then that will infect everybody else. People will be talking more sensibly and thinking about their future more sensibly. But if you shut down conversation, then nothing will, then we'll become incapable of making any decisions on our own, right? Definitely. And then people can take advantage of you.